range shots, yeah, of course.
So if you were firing a bullet in a hurricane, you got no issues, right?
Depends on how much range you're going to be firing over.
10 yards.
How far is that in meters?
10 meters.
Right. Well, that you're going to have some. Yeah, you're going to have some deflection, I guess.
Right. Here we go.
I don't know. I've never actually fired a gun.
Boom. Boom. That'll be the end of that then. Boom. Go on. Who is it in Discord? Is it Darren?
If I ever go to the United States, I'm going to be testing Coriolis.
Look, Arwin's pissed.
Yeah, mate.
Let it out, Arwin. Go on.
I said if I'm ever going to go to the United States, I'm going to be doing so much Coriolis tests with guns. I'm going to have a huge amount of fun with that.
Arwin wants to feel the warm, soothing lead leave his hand. Anyway, go ahead, Brian. Darren, sorry.
Gangsta. Gangsta. Arwin's a gangsta. Hit the like button, hit the share button, and get ready, because after I did this video earlier today, where I show you Arwin's statements from last night that have to do with the Coriolis effect, him and Oakley getting it so horribly wrong that it can't be explained with words, and then Arwin says something a little bit weird. He says that after speaking about testing the Coriolis effect by firing guns, he says, if I ever go to the United States, I'm going to be testing the Coriolis a lot. Oakley responds like, Arwin's mad. Go ahead, get it out, Arwin. Because Arwin was mad. Arwin wasn't like being funny or something. He was being serious. And Oakley responds like, get it out. Arwin says it again. And a lot of people would be like, oh, so what? He didn't mean it. In fact, a few people in my comments were asking the question. They were begging the question. He didn't mean it, did he? Well, that's the thing. If you've never seen any of the clips that I just got sent, you may think that. You might think that yourself. You might be like, Darwin didn't mean that shit. Until you see what I'm about to show you. Then you understand why Arwin may, he may be a little bit... Some people may be worried when they hear Arwin say things like that. And I'm going to show you why. Oh, and we got a bunch of other stuff to do. I'm working on a video. I was about to go ahead and play some stuff, but I'm working on a video where I challenge Arwin, Oakley, Sleeping Warrior, and Dell from Behind the Imaginary Curve to a very simple challenge. The most simple thing about the flat earth. I'm putting that out. Unfortunately, I didn't get it done before the live show, so I'll get it done tonight. Let's go. Okay, you got to see this to believe it. Flat Earth meltdowns in Crazy Town. Now we're going to start with Arwin's call to arms. Arwin's call to arms. Now listen, guys. I'm not trying to hate on the little guy. I honestly don't think he would ever do that, but you can't blame people that think he would once you hear things like this.
Instantly always jumps in on the Flat Earth debates every single time, but no. Arwin, no, you gotta be in that special mood. Because, oh my god, it's so scary with Arwin.
What?
So, yeah, that was half cut off. Thank you! Screw you! You piece of shit internet!
Damn it, I'm not gonna get monetized on this, am I?
Everything's screwing with me! Like, every time! I wanna grow up in a non-liberal family.
Look, hold on now. Like, don't get mad at me for laughing, all right? Out of nowhere, he starts talking about wanting to grow up in a non-liberal family. Okay, it was just out of nowhere.
In a non-liberal family.
Feel bad for the poor guy.
Grow up in a non-liberal family. I remember the guy basically secretly lusting over me.
Okay, and then it gets creepy. It gets so creepy, okay? But he just talks about a guy putting his hand on his shoulder, which is strange. I'm not going to judge him on this, so.
Like, putting his hand on my shoulder like, oh, you're such a great sport. And it freaks me out.
Why? He's encouraging you to be a good sport? I don't know.
It freaks me out because I want to kill him.
Now you understand why I'm playing this clip. See, here's the deal. ARWIJN is prone to snapping and threatening to kill people with weapons. A lot. That's why. Now, I know if you don't have the context of ARWIJN's past clips, when I uploaded the video earlier today, I just assumed everybody had seen these clips. Well, you're about to see them now, son. Got to get my peeps up to date, the ones that haven't seen it, because they're in my comments asking me, so what? So here you go.
Because I want to kill him. I can't stand it anymore. I can't stand it. Stop talking about it and do something! Kill them all! Now! Slice her open! Do it! Just get rid of them all! And do it fast! Don't fuck around! Get rid of them! Stop talking about it and do something! Get your goddamn shotgun, whatever the fuck you got, knives, and just go to them and freaking kill them all! No!
Perfect pause. Perfect pause, Busy. Excellent. Okay, he paused it, not me, so I was just congratulating him on a really good pause. Yeah, so is the clip I uploaded earlier today providing the tiniest bit more relevance now? See, here's the deal. When he's yelling this, it's kind of in a, you get me, like, disconnected thing. It's like he's just snapping. He's just like, kill them all, yeah, chop the guts up, yo. But then, after last night, when I heard him say, I'm gonna go test the Coriolis on all those fools. If you have watched Flat Earth videos, or Flat Earth debunking videos either, you know that the discussion of the Coriolis revolves around firing a gun over a long distance and the bullet being affected by the spin of the Earth in certain conditions, and whether you have to calculate for that with certain shots. That's why it was relevant. I know most of you knew that. I just wanted to make sure that I provide the tiniest more bit of context here.
Oh! Stab them to death! I can't handle it anymore. This world can't be like this. It can't be like this. You can't allow it to be like this. You can't allow it. You have to stop it now. Fuck justice. Fuck the courts. They are the freaking pedophiles. They are them. Fuck the courts. Fuck the law. Kill the pedophiles. Kill them all.
Yeah, this kind of just came out of nowhere, right? Just like, wham!
Can't do it! They must die!
Hey, hold on.
Focus on beautiful things, Lisa!
Boys.
I'm not!
You believe in...
No! I will not focus on beautiful things! That's
Okay,
what shit is out there!
All right, man. Well, I'm gonna go there, man. You have a lot of... Take care, bro. Take care, man.
I will not keep the darkness at bay. I will not keep the darkness at bay. Yeah, see? So last night, we heard the clip about... I want to focus on the key points from... What the hell's this thing? What was there a teddy bear in my face for?
I'm not saying it's not friction. I'm just saying that there's so much that it... I'm not... No, but definitely not on... Like, on the short range, it's not... Wind is not going to be an issue. But if you're going to be doing long range shots, yeah.
Talking about guns.
Of course.
So if you were firing a bullet in a hurricane, you got no issues, right?
Depends on how much range you're going to be firing over.
10 yards.
How far is that in meters?
10 meters.
10 meters.
Right. Well, that
Can I just
you're gonna
add
have
a
some.
story?
Yeah, you're gonna have some deflection, I guess.
Right,
not.
here we go.
I don't
That's
know.
it.
I've never actually fired a gun.
Boom.
I'm trying to get some context really quick, okay? I want some context. I need some context, y'all.
Boom. That'll be the end of that then. Boom.
I've never
Go on.
checked
Who is it in Discord? Is it Darren?
Oh, the chat? We'll look at the chat in a minute. They just kind of like lose it.
Man. If I
Yeah,
ever go to the United States, I'm gonna be
cool.
testing
Look,
Coriolis
Look,
so much.
Owen's pissed.
So do you see? Do you get it now? We got this guy that you just saw going batshit crazy, right? Like rip out their good sides, okay? And then last night he's saying, if I ever go to the United States, I'm gonna test Coriolis so much. You get me? It's a little worrisome. It really is. Honestly, it makes you be like, well, he's not mentally stable in any way. At any moment, he can have a breakdown like that. What if he was super fed up and he did go to the U.S.? I don't know, man. I don't know. I'm just playing clips for you. I'm just the clip DJ. You have to think about this stuff.
Yeah, Mike.
Let it out, Arwin. Go on.
I said if I'm
Right.
ever gonna
Like-
go to the United States, I'm gonna be doing so much Coriolis tests with guns.
You see, Arwin, I don't think you would. I don't think that you got the cojones, Arwin. I don't think you got the balls. Besides the fact that, you know, you wouldn't last over here. I mean, we're just a more kind of like, I don't know. We don't like when people say things like that, Arwin. We don't like that. Okay? Have you looked at the news lately, buddy? So back to why his statement from last night is kind of worrisome if you add it into context with his other breakdowns. Here you go.
Yeah, I am saying it! So come and arrest me, you fucking pieces of shit! I wanna take you out!
No, I'm just saying.
Fucking pedophile pieces of shit! Die! And people just do it! And that's the only thing ever that will stop them. The only thing! There is no way to plan it to kill them all!
Arwin,
Creepy
you know,
old
guess
men coming by my house, demanding my
Arwin.
kids!
Arwin, do you have kids?
No!
No? So where's all this coming from again? Is it just kind of like a big act or what? Just, I don't know. Oh, God. Headphone alert. Now I've got it turned down all the way to here. This clip was submitted to me way earlier today. Headphone alert.
I just can't bear to hear one.
I don't know why Flat Earth Clown Show, who's the Trolls versus Trolls, I'm sorry. I don't know why he didn't, like, level the audio in this clip. Because earlier when I played this, it almost knocked me out of my chair. He yells so loud right into the microphone. You won't hear it that way. I've got it leveled for you. But when it wasn't leveled, it is loud, son.
One more freaking pedophile story. Or one more.
He might not, says Wade, but how many who follow him might? Good point, Wade. That hadn't even crossed my mind. I'm going to talk to the chat. I'm going to talk to you guys here in a minute, okay? Because I want to know what you think. I need to have your opinion on all of it. But, you know, it's just this is just me wondering, what the hell?
Coming out about some goddamn rape victim. I can't handle it anymore. This world can't be like this. It can't be like.
So if you hear him, if you listen to him, okay, and I'm not going to go through and pick out everything, but the reason why he qualifies to be made fun of about what he's doing is because while he's talking, he's telling you that it didn't happen to him. It's just hypothetical things that he's thinking about, and then he loses it and goes into crazy town. So it's not that he's the victim or that he didn't make the claim that he's a victim or anything. So there's no victim shaming here. He literally says, no, I don't have kids. Nothing happened to them and nothing happened to me. But if somebody had this happen to them, and then he flips out.
Like this. You can't allow it to be like this. You can't allow it. You have to stop it now.
I got it turned down for a reason, people. Here it comes.
Fuck justice! Fuck the courts! They are.
Okay, we already heard that part, so I'm gonna skip it.
Not how you feel, man. I mean, you know, you are a fucking contained.
I tried.
No.
for days.
It's not over. How about this? It's not over, man. That's the cool part about it. And the
Okay, so the other clip I want you to see, and then we'll move on, is just a funny little clip that has to do with subscribers.
Yeah, you know, I'm almost freaking 40, and I do feel like I'm in a prison right here, and I want to get out of it.
I got my hand on the volume knob, y'all.
Yeah. Just say
Do it now. Yes, I did. I did get an image of Arnold when Arnold being like, do it now, do it now. Yeah, I can't do a good Arnold, but I did get that mental image. Yes. Yes, I did, AT2. Yes, I did.
Serious doubt about having engaged in all this. Serious doubt. Not that I don't believe Flat Earth. Not that I don't like you guys. It's just that this...
Your belief in the shape of the Earth should have nothing to do with who you like or not like. It really shouldn't. It could be one of your major problems here, big guy.
world works in a way that this disabled...
Those of you that are going to accuse me of using that video clip from last night as an excuse to play this, yes, I'm guilty.
you from from engaging in anything else, really, unless you are sufficiently prepared, and I am not. I am in a building phase still in my life, which is kind of sad since I am way too old.
Hey, we've all been there, big guy. Just buckle down now. It'll only take you a year. You'll have it all together.
To be in that position right now. And this, I don't know, is this it? You know? Been freaking on YouTube now for a daily basis now. For over 1.5 months.
Daily basis for 1.5 months, but he's been on for 3 years, I think.
And I've been on YouTube for 3 years.
Yeah, okay.
With
I've seen this clip before. We've played it here before. But it's a good clip.
over 200 hangouts. And I still don't have a freaking 1,000 subscribers. What the hell's going on?
Hey, I feel you, bro. It took me like 9 months to breach 1,000.
I'm the only one here. The only damn one that's been here online for 3 years, and I don't even have 1,000 subscribers. What
I don't get that part. What do you mean you're the only one? The site's full of people.
the freaking
I've been here for 3 years.
hell is going on here? Is this normal?
I've been here for 3 years when he did the clip. Yeah, me too, I mean.
Is this normal? There are people out there that are
Play the
at it
gangster
for like
music,
2
Busy.
weeks.
He's a
that have
gangster.
Thousands of subscribers. What the hell is
First advice I'd offer to Arwin. Live shows aren't going to get you subscribers. Edited videos are. Live shows are not going to do it. Just so he knows.
going on here? This makes no sense to me. And I'm sick of it.
AT2 says, what really hilarious to me is that he's been on YouTube for how long and doesn't have 1,000 subs. Took me a little over a year of routine shows to get over that threshold. Yeah, exactly. Yeah, it took me about 8 or 9 months to breach the 1,000, but, you know, I was at a low subscriber count for a really long time. The only reason this channel blew up like it did in the beginning was because I'd come from a bigger channel, so I can't use this channel as a benchmark. But my main channel, it took me a long time, dude. You don't ever do it and expect to gain subs. I don't know what I don't know.
I'm
It's almost like he's been promised a bunch of subs. He actually says that during this clip.
sick of this all. Is this just scratching? Just have to work every day for hours, put everything in it, sacrifice everything else with just a few subscribers. So
For just a few subscribers? It's like he doesn't care, man. Like, you know? And it's a flat earther saying this. You're so out of touch with reality, you believe in the flat earth. and you're so out of touch with how YouTube works, you think that doing Flat Earth is going to get you subs. There's a reason why Jaronism gets subs. Because he, one, did it when the algorithm wasn't in check, and two, he edited videos, and three, he used a lot of propaganda, like clickbait, lies. He tried to convince people of things that he knew wasn't true. You know what I'm saying? Like, ARWIJN, I don't know. It's like, isn't there a battle there in your mind? Like, is ARWIJN, because of course I have a point to my ramblings tonight. I try to always have a point to my ramblings, but
So
I'm not going to spoil the fun. I work up to the point.
digitally beg for a couple of bucks. Is that it? Is
You should never be begging for a couple bucks, bro.
this it for me? This?
Here, let me show you how to do it, ARWIJN. If you like my show and want to support us, donate on PayPal, www.paypal.me/UNIRock. Or Streamlabs, so you can put a message on the board, streamlabs.com/UNIRock live. But whether you donate or not, we'll still be here rocking. There you go, ARWIJN. There's a good, like, not typically what I use. I don't have a catchphrase at the end usually, but just an example for you.
Is this my destiny? Is this really what I'm supposed to be doing? Is this good for me?
No, it's the content. It's literally the content. It is, honestly. The delivery and the content. You'd be fine without it. Anyway, he's going to make some pretty crazy comments in this, too. We'll get back to the point in a minute. I just love this clip.
For anyone? I'm sick of it. I'm sick of it. Yeah, I will compare myself to other people, Nathan.
Nathan.
I will. I'm at it for 3 years.
You see, Nathan's giving him the pep talk. Nathan's like, hey, don't worry. We're all going to get a bunch of subs someday.
3 years, and I don't even have 1,000 subscribers. What the fuck is going on?
If I wasn't doing this toward a point, I would definitely hook you up and I'd give him some advice. But since I'm working somewhere right now, I have to continue. I'm sorry. Staring out that window.
And I really, really appreciate for all the real people that did subscribe. But this is not normal. This is not normal.
Yeah, it is.
Try to find anyone out there that's been at this long. They will have nice, lovely promises everywhere.
Okay, we're going back to this clip. ARWIJN, come on, man. Turn it up for us, dude. Turn it up. We're trying to make an example of how you're mentally dangerous. You're not helping.
Cool part about it is that, focus on the good things in life, and don't focus on the negative. It's like I could look at.
How can
Check
I
this
do
out.
this
Check
with this
this out.
shit in the way?
Well,
Everything I want, everything. I just want.
ARWIJN, check this out.
I
Check
just
this
want a
out.
modest family, but I
ARWIJN,
don't want my
ARWIJN.
goddamn kids growing up to be taught to be
ARWIJN.
pedophiles. I
Hey,
don't want.
ARWIJN.
You don't even have kids, bro. There's something wrong with this dude. Okay? I hate having to demonstrate this to you right now. But while he's on Nathan Oakley's show talking about shooting debunkers, sorry, I'm going to talk to you about it.
ARWIJN,
Creepy old
guess
men coming by my house.
Okay, skipping that
Good
part.
about it, though.
Their
Isaac.
presence
Well,
takes
no,
away.
Well, listen. Hold on one sec.
takes
Hold on.
away my
ARWIJN,
lust.
ARWIJN,
I
my point is
can't
this, though.
enjoy it. I can't enjoy it
ARWIJN,
anymore.
okay, hold on.
I can't enjoy
Okay, well,
any
well,
of that
when was the-
because
how
I
about this?
can't be natural.
When was
because
the
they'll
last
come
time-
after me, Isa.
When-
I
They'll come after you?
can't enjoy it.
When was the last time? Okay, when was the last time you did enjoy it?
What are they talking about?
With my ex-girlfriend.
Wow! What are you talking about, bro? I don't want to get creepy tonight. I wasn't trying to get creepy. We're trying to talk about your murderous tendencies, not other stuff.
And it
Okay,
would've
and
gone
when was that?
completely wrong.
And when was
Good
that?
Lord.
Six years ago.
God, I wish I would have
Jesus
known about
Christ.
this when it
Yo,
happened.
so check it out. Hey, so 6 years ago.
Wait, what did he say?
With my ex-girlfriend. And it
Okay, and when was that?
Completely wrong.
Oh God, he should have never broadcasted this shit out on YouTube. Why, bro? Why?
And when was that?
I'm feeling bad about playing this. Hold up, I got to go to my live chat for a minute. I need your advice. I need my live chat's support. Do I keep watching this? Because it's getting dark, bro. We're going to a dark place. If you want to go down this dark rabbit hole, I will go with you. But I need your permission. I need your endorsement first. Do we go down this rabbit hole or do we bail? Tell me. Yeah, we're going. I'm just, building the tension. Arwin should have some pizza and a wank. Job done, says Kev. He won't eat pizza. It's those damn conspiracy theories. It tells him that pizza and donuts are bad foods. And then what does he do? He gets all frustrated. I suggest handing this off to a psychiatrist, said Sean. You have no clue how many people have said that to me since I uploaded that clip earlier today. You should feel bad, but it's dark military humor. Keep playing it. Oh, I'm playing it. Yeah, I ain't stopping. Why? For those of you that just got here, why would I play this? Because he said this last night.
Depends on how much range you're going to be firing over.
So you hear him. He's talking about firing a gun and then says...
Man, if I ever go to the United States, I'm going to be testing Coriolis.
Look, I was pissed.
If I ever go to the United States, I'm going to be doing the test that involves shooting the gun so much. That was said by this guy.
6 years ago? Jesus Christ, it's been long.
Yo, so check it out. So 6.
Yeah, I'd be pretty aggressive also, Arwin, if it'd been over 6 years, buddy.
Years ago, right? So the thing is like, yo, man, and I'm sure maybe, and I'm not, I don't know,
Jesus.
but it's like, yo, man, we all have our heart broken. We all have these things happen.
No!
But listen,
it has nothing to do with it, Isa.
Well, listen, man. Well, no. My point is that if you had something worth fighting for, like, it's one thing to say that you're going to die for something. It's another thing to say that you're going to live for something, right?
You never say that to somebody who's this upset. Really horrible advice there, buddy.
I can't summon a kid in this world based off what I am.
I don't think this guy could even handle a 22, let alone a 9 milli. I know, bro. Lord Stephen Christ, Mercury, and Arwin should be sharing a room in an asylum. Funny you say that, Decadal Heathen. We're going to be taking a look-see at Mr. Lord Stephen Christ here in a little bit. I've never made fun of the guy. I'd love to.
In the world as it is, I can't risk it.
Well, you could, Arwin. You could protect...
No, listen.
See, that's what we do as men, Arwin. We have children. We protect them.
Listen to me. Listen to me. I was freaking summoned in this world by my parents, okay? And I probably haven't even been raped. I don't even...
Wait, what? What? See how crazy he is? I know we're the Real Non Sequitur show. I know. See how crazy you are, Arwin? So when you go on the Flat Earth debate and you start talking about Coriolising us debunkers in the United States, we're not only given permission to make fun of you like crazy for the next while, we're obligated to, Arwin.
Freaking remember, but just them existing and approaching, it is too much.
Yeah, Isaac, I think you're onto something. I think that yeah, oh no, Troll, I know, yeah. Troll says that Arwin's over 40 years old, right? Yes, I do. He just said that. Yeah, that's the weird part about the whole story. Can we finally start understanding the Flat Earth now? Can we understand what Flat Earth is now? I've got to show you something else that happened a few weeks ago, and I cannot believe I missed it. I cannot believe I missed the next topic weeks ago. I literally am so mad at myself, man. Has to do with Sleeping Warrior.
Drops shit.
Troll, UNIRock-Osmond. Hey, buddy. Good to see you, man. Glad you're here.
can't summon a kid in
You
a
always have so many different names, bro.
world where pedophiles
Whoa, that is peaking. He is peaking my audio. I am sorry. If it gets too loud, let me know.
rule us. I can't do it. They must die.
Wow. Now hold on. I want to figure out who he's saying must die. Vesta says, my first degree is a BSc in psychology and biochemistry, and from what I've seen of Arwin, he has some serious mental issues. For a layperson, he's batshit crazy. Yes, batshit crazy is accurate, if not forgiving to describe him as.
I freaking remember, but just
You got banned on your main account? Okay, I'll unban you right now, dude. I don't know how that could have happened. I don't ban, though. My mods do, but I'll unban you right now.
them existing and approaching, it is too much. It disrupts shit. I can't summon a kid in a world where pedophiles rule us. I can't do it. They must die.
Hold on. I'll let you finish in a second, Arwin. That's what it is. See, now Arwin is a perfect example from every perspective on why conspiracy theories are bad for people. Because if you start convincing somebody that you can prove that the earth is round... there it is. Got it, man. You unbanned, brother. If you start convincing people that the world isn't round and that it's flat, and you use stupid things like the Coriolis effect, and you use stupid things like, you know, now do you see the point that you see the mastery of my live streaming craft yet? Have you predicted where I'm going to go? I hope you have, because I'm getting there. Anyway, if you start letting yourself believe in stupid conspiracies like the flat earth, then why isn't every conspiracy true? Right? That's not the only place I'm going.
Die!
Right? Yeah, but Arwin, why are you, like, you know...
Like, he doesn't even... Look, it's not even that intimidating of a scream. It's one of those things where it's like... Now, some people, if they screamed like a psychopath, it would scare you. When Arwin does it, it's like, you know... You ever had, like, a 3-year-old get really mad and they just, like, throw their fist down and they're like... Ah! There you go. That's what's up here.
We all know that, right? But, like...
Yeah, I'm sure you all do. I'm sure your evidence is something that has to do with a piece of pizza.
I can't do it. I can't risk it.
Yeah, I know, but, well, okay, then you don't have to, because you don't have any kids right now anyway, and you don't have a girlfriend, so you're fine. You're in the clear.
Bad idea. You're not supposed to remind him of why he's upset while he's freaking. That's why he's pissed.
Seems like to me.
So
You're rubbing it in his face. I enjoy it, but it's not going to calm him down.
Don't worry about that.
But
You know what I mean?
Isaac, he's saying that's what he wants, but he can't.
All
bring
right, AT,
that
hell yeah,
into
bro.
this world. So how can you be fine if you're
Well, my point is,
40, okay?
Oh, am I celebrating Christmas a bit? I did grab a Christmas mug. I just like the mug because you can see that my background effects through it. I think it's dandy. So, dandy. I don't know what dandy is. I'm making up stuff already. So it's going to be a good stream. I'm already making up words.
okay, listen,
You know
listen.
how
What I'm trying to say is,
impulsives?
all right, hold on, guys. So, like, yo, what I'm saying, Arwin, though, is that, look, if you focus on beautiful things may come to, like, you believe in the
Yeah, and
idea
the
that.
darkness will
Hold on,
catch up
listen,
us.
hey, listen to me, Arwin. Hey,
Whoa, hold up.
but he can't bring that into this world. So how can you be fine if you're
well, my point is,
40, okay?
okay,
You
listen,
know how
what I'm trying to say is,
impulsives?
all right, hold on, guys.
Strong
so, like,
the
yo, what I'm saying,
impulses
Arwin,
to
though, is that,
what?
look, if
What
you
impulse, Arwin? What impulse, Arwin?
It's too much. It disrupts shit. I can't summon a kid in a world where pedophiles rule us. I can't do it. They must die.
Wow.
Right? Yeah, but Arwin, why are you, like, you know, we all know that, right? But like, you know,
I can't
so
do it. I can't risk it.
Okay, now I'm going to translate Arwin Crazy Talk to English for the next minute. Now, I got to focus to do this. It's a unique skill I have that qualifies me to have a lot of subscribers, Arwin. I can have many subscribers because I'm able to take crazy flat earth talk, crazy person talk, translate it to English for my audience. Watch and learn.
yeah, I know, but well, okay, then you don't have to, because you don't have any kids right now anyway, and you don't have a girlfriend, so you're fine. You're in the clear. Seems like to me.
It's going to trigger him.
So I wouldn't worry about that.
But
You know what I mean?
He's saying that's what he wants, but he can't bring that into this world. So he's.
Why can't he again?
How can you be fine if you're?
Well, my point is.
This was one of his therapy sessions. Yeah, he was alone at first, and he had a breakdown, and then a bunch of flat Earth therapists jump in. You got flat Earth nurses, you got flat Earth psychologists. You probably even got a couple flat Earth psychiatrists in here. If you get my drift, you know, like here you go, Arwin. I might have said that backward. Which one prescribes the medication? Psychiatrist, yeah.
40, okay.
Right. Got it, 18.
Okay, listen, what I'm trying to say is.
Impulsives.
What is he talking about, bro?
What I'm trying to say is.
Impulsive.
If you're.
Well, my point is.
40, okay.
Okay, listen. What I'm trying to say is.
Impulsives.
Do you know how strong the impulse? I'm 40, okay? Now, I think he's. Is he gonna go out and like do something? You know, it's hard to say it on this censored state of YouTube, but is he gonna force a kid into the world? Is he saying that the impulse is so? What are you saying, Arwin?
All right, hold on, guys. So, like, what I'm saying, Arwin, though, is that, look, if you focus on beautiful things may come to you. Like, you believe in the idea that.
Darkness will
hold on. Listen, hey, listen to me, Arwin.
Wait. Now, he said something there that they were like, we got to talk loud so people can't tell what he said. I want to hear what he said there.
Beautiful things may come to you. Like, you believe in the idea
and the
that.
Darkness will
hold on. Listen, hey.
The darkness will catch something.
Hey, listen to me, Arwin.
Darkness will
hold on. Listen, hey, listen to me, Arwin.
Hey, hold on. Focus on beautiful things, Lisa.
Boys.
I'm not.
You believe in.
No, I will not focus on beautiful things.
I've never in my life, bro, seen clips like this dude produces. You're not going to get subs for doing this, but you're going to gain a lot of notoriety. You know what I mean? You're going to get a lot of attention. You're just not going to get a lot of subs. I mean, at least you get something out of the deal.
As long as this shit is
the darkness with catch up with you.
out there.
All right, man. Well, I'm gonna go there, man. You have a love. Yeah, take care, bro. Take care, man.
Lisa, I will not dream to keep the darkness at bay, Lisa.
Take care, man.
It's like if you got this into a script, right? It can make a good movie.
Fuck around with that shit, all right?
Guys, chill. Just relax.
No.
Yeah, I get what he's saying, Barney. I definitely get what he's saying. But the thing is, he's basically like, so here's what's happened to poor Arwin. He started out watching really dumb flat Earth videos, and he bought it. He believed every single bit of it, and you could tell that if you just listened to the guy talk. But then, eventually, it transitioned into him watching other crazy conspiracies, as you're hearing here. And that has led him into this crazy mental state. For those of you that just got here, because yes, a few people just showed up. Last night, inside of the Flat Earth debate number 949 on Nathan Oakley 1980, at the 57-minute and 30-second mark, he states that he wants to take a gun. He talks about shooting a gun to test Coriolis. And then he says, if I ever go to the United States, I'll test that Coriolis a lot. Now, a lot of you guys know that the debunking community has a lot of members in the United States. So, you get me? Little bit of makes us want to kind of have a Arwin retrospective tonight. You know, we got to watch these videos and then ask the question, is Arwin sane? Is he going to snap, and are we going to see him on the news someday? You get me?
Oh, check it out. No. Look at this. I look at it like this, Arwin. It's like hypocrisy, man. Do you believe in synchronicity, right?
Quit asking him about movies that he's watched. He's upset.
You believe in synchronicity?
I'm not gonna dream while the freaking darkness is out there.
Okay, well, I'm just...
He's putting... So have you boiled this down yet? He's putting on a fucking act, y'all. He's playing the victim at the same time as when he's trying to play the hero. I gotta stare out the window with the sun shining on my face. I'm not gonna dream while the darkness is out there. Arwin, 2018. You know what I'm saying?
saying, if you believe in synchronicity, then focus on what you like, and maybe good things will come to you.
That's not how synchronicity works.
That's up to you, bud. That's up to you, man. I gotta go.
Synchronicity arrives. You can't go there.
All right.
It's there,
okay, good night, guys.
It's
Later,
a part
guys.
of you, or it's not.
Damn, you just lost your psychiatrist, Arwin.
Is he gone?
He's gone like he was never there.
Something I can't take is when I'm in this and somebody tells me, oh, you just need to focus on this beautiful little thing. It's all right.
Well,
the
Arwin,
dark is not going to be there as long as you see. Never!
Arwin. But, you know, awareness. This is why we
feel helpless. I feel enraged. I want to take him out. I don't want to wait anymore.
No, but
now, I could make a damn good argument for his recent comments of, I want to take them out over and over and over and over. What I played for you earlier with his graphic description of what he's going to do to people's guts and things like that. And then what he said last night on the Flat Earth debate. And I could make a really good case for, like, you know, an over the age school shooter, future shooter, you know.
Don't be saying things like you want to take people out. Or
I am.
Don't be saying that, Arwin. You can't mean that, or else people are going to delete you from YouTube and lock you in a mental institution. I don't care. I am.
I'm saying it, so come and arrest me, you fucking pieces of shit! I want to take you out!
No.
Yeah. How did he ever get by? Like, how does this... Why... How's he still doing the Flat Earth debate after this? I didn't even know he said this shit. I just found this out today. See, earlier today, I uploaded the video of my initial take of Arwin saying that on the Flat Earth debate yesterday. It's this video right here. Flat Earther threatens debunkers with gun emoji. All right? So, anyway, I upload that, and then, of course, while I'm in Discord, bunches of people are jumping in like, you got to see this one. You got to see this one. I'd seen the subscriber breakdown. I just hadn't seen how he wants to take people out and stuff like that. I don't remember it, at least. So
no, I'm just saying... in the
fucking pedophile pieces of shit!
Now, don't think that he's not claiming to be a victim. He's not claiming that he's had anything done to him. In fact, he even stated, I don't even think I've ever been AR'd. I've never been, you know... So don't think that that's where it's at. No, this is just him acting like a baby. This is a grown man screaming like a damn baby because he's pissed off that not a lot of people are watching his show.
Die!
I mean, I completely agree. Like I said, it's the in-between time until the goal. In between, how do we react, you know, now?
How do we act? You know, you got to take that out. How do you act here if you want subscribers? This is how you don't, but...
You know, I think we just have to think about what's going on. Otherwise, we lose control.
Okay. I'll come back to more of Arwin's breakdowns in just a second. We've got a lot of other stuff to look at. I don't want to just kill the whole night with it. It is a little bit disturbing, right? Anyway... before I watched the clip of last night of Arwin saying this thing about testing Coriolis in the United States, but, you know, I said to myself, what would be the thing that would... Now, some of you were here. I said this yesterday. Now, I'm working on an edited video where I'm putting out a challenge. It's going to start with the text box. I want to put out a challenge to Arwin, Nathan Oakley, Sleeping Warrior, and Dell. And I want them to... there are two things. So here it is. I've distilled my challenge down. I've gotten my challenge even further written out. So if they do not meet the challenge, two things are going to happen. One, they will forever be referred to as flat churchers, not flat earthers. So I'm trying to push in the debunking community to at least with Nathan Oakley, Dell, Arwin, and Sleeping Warrior, and Nathan Thompson. We got to add him in. Those five at least. We must not call them flat earthers anymore. It's giving them too much credit. It's adding the word earth to their descriptor. They don't deserve that. So we need to change it to flat churchers. Now some of you may know why. Those five people are the ones that constantly say that we are the religious zealots. We are the science priests. Got me? Now, they don't have to be called flat churchers. They just have to meet a simple challenge. Now, this is only fair because this challenge should have been met by flat earthers a long time ago, but they skipped it. Every conspiracy theory, every one of them, if you study it long enough, You go back and back and back and back to the inception of the conspiracy theory, and you'll find a fact that all the rest of the conspiracy hinges upon. And I found it. I have found the thing that will debunk the flat earth argument, in my opinion, and it's one simple challenge. Flat earthers need to do what we do, which is draw and model. And I'm saying they can model it with a few paragraphs, so they can model it with a drawing, a diagram of the day-night cycle and the Terminator line on the flat earth. I don't think they can do it. In fact, I almost guarantee Dell from Behind the Imaginary Curve, Nathan Oakley from the Flat Earth Debate, ARWIJN from Psycho Land, Sleepy Warrior from Riley's channel, and Nathan Thompson. I bet you they won't even be able to begin to model it and have it applicable to what we see in reality. I'm not even asking them to make predictions beyond night and day. Night-day cycle, being able to compare it to reality. They make the model, which they just draw a diagram on the paper. They write some paragraphs of how it works, submit it to me and the rest of the debunking community. Then we get to respond to them. But there's a condition, and it starts once I upload my video tomorrow. And I'm hoping some of the other debunkers will get behind me in this. The condition is that until they can accurately describe this, which should have been one of the first things they did before they could even act like the earth was flat, they have to at least be able to accurately describe this. Before they can do that, they must do it. We must not be able to debunk it, or we will forever call them flat churchers instead of flat earthers. I think it's fair. I do think now they can, yeah, I know they'll say that they use a magic light source. We can debunk that in a split second. You got me? Now, that's all down the line, but this is a now, why am I doing this? Like I said, when I went in and looked at the pizza-spiracy, you know, that conspiracy that Arwin's complaining about right there, I found out that it hinged on one fact, and it was that there were emails on a server, and that if you added a code word cipher on the same server, the WikiLeaks server, all of a sudden it equals their conspiracy theory. The problem was they never proved that these emails were ever using that code word cipher. In fact, the emails, they didn't even prove the emails did use any code word cipher, let alone that specific code word cipher. Therefore, it debunked the entire conspiracy. I did that a year or so ago. And in the flat earth movement, that same fact is, in my opinion, the Terminator line, the day-night cycle, where the sun is and where the moon is, and having on a flat earth draw this out so that we can compare it to reality and see if it's right or wrong. You get me? Now, I know what you're going to say. You're saying that you're going to say I'm laying a trap for them. You're going to say, but Uni, there's no way that you could draw out a day-night cycle on a flat earth that will comport with reality. Exactly. But it's not a trap, because obviously this should have been the first thing that Nathan Oakley had to describe before he could move on to trying to talk about the Coriolis, before he could move on to try to talk about the R value, before he could move on and talk about the curve calculator or any of those things. Before you could go into trying to argue these things, you must at least start at the most basic place, and they have not done it. They have every single... Yes, he said he probably wasn't ARD. Yes, which means that he either takes a lot of dope so he doesn't know if he was ARD or not, or he's just so crazy he doesn't have... Maybe he doesn't have a long-term memory. Maybe he only has a short-term memory. I don't know, but typically you don't hear people saying things like that. You get me? Somebody asked him the reason Arwin said that, somebody in the comments with the way he was acting said, "What, Arwin, what are you at? Were you blanked? Did somebody blank you?" And he said, "I wouldn't even know if I was." So, you know, you get me. Anyway, now we can't call them flat churchers yet because I haven't finished the video. Although, I'm almost done. I've got all the video recorded for it. I've got all the video processed into my video editor. I've got a bunch of the slides set up, and I just need to go in and edit it down and get it ready. I thought about doing that in the after show, but tonight on the after show on D Live, and hell, we might even do it over here. I don't know, man. We're going to do it somewhere. I found this old video. It's a deleted scenes, Poncho Pete versus Jez the Stabbening. And during a Flat Earth live stream, this Flat Earther stabs another one. So we're going to watch that on D Live for the after show because I can't play it on YouTube. It's on YouTube, of course, but I'll get demonetized for it. And then we're going to watch that same YouTube after stabbing someone getting evicted from his property while live streaming about the Flat Earth. So that's going to be an excellent after show. That's all tonight on D Live and Periscope. But while we're here, we have to finish this stream. Yes, I'm challenging Nathan Oakley. Yes, I'm challenging ARWIJN and Dell from behind the imaginary curve and those other two I said. What was Nathan Thompson and Sleepy Warrior. I am challenging them. And yes, now I need my community to be behind me on this. We need to represent it on Twitter. We got to represent it on YouTube in the comments, you know. So here's how it's going to work. No troll, right? No trolling. No negativity. Everything positive. Everything positivity here. Being super nice. Even compliment them or something. Tell them how nice their hair looks today. ARWIJN, your hair looks nice today. What we're going to do, after I upload the video tomorrow, well, I'm going to upload it tonight and then it'll go live tomorrow sometime. We need to make sure that we always call them flat churchers. But there is a kind of stipulation. Only to flat earthers who have called us religious fundamentalists. Only to flat earthers that have said that we are worshiping a religion of science. Those are the ones that we're going to call flat churchers. In droves, all of us. We're talking the entire debunking community. That will kind of show them who's boss. You get my drift? Because we've had a lot of weird things happen lately. For those of you that have been catching up on it, I know I haven't been streaming that much. I know I need to get back into the streaming groove. I've been streaming a lot on D-Live, but not here on YouTube. We had the FE Core strike disaster, which is known as the Flat World War. That's still going on, by the way. I don't know where it's at. We might check later to see what the latest update is in the Flat World War. That's happening right now. You know, during these times of conflict, it's imperative that we all band together and represent the side that we sit on, okay? War is hell. War's a nightmare. I know. I've been there. I was in the Iraqi war. I'm not kidding. So it's a hell that can't be described. It's the sooner we can get out of the flat war, the better. The Flat World War. And as soon as we resolve these strikes with FE Core, it'll be over with. We can all move on. But the one thing we can't do is lose sight of what we are trying to do here. They deserve to be called the religious fundamentalists, not us. We could prove it with hard evidence. All they can say is, the math doesn't count. Math doesn't count. So you're probably going to say, oh, it's Sleeping. I always call him Sleepy Warrior, so I almost typed in Sleepy Warrior. For those of you that don't know, there's this douchebag named Sleepy. Stop it, UNIRock, stop. Don't be mean. There's this person named Sleepy Warrior, and he literally is so out of touch with life. He's so out of touch with reality here. He challenged a physicist named AB Science 3 weeks ago, and I am so lazy I didn't even notice it. He got owned and owned and owned, and it's the biggest owning I've ever seen. So we need to actually take a look at it, but we should look at it from AB Science perspective. Now, AB Science, this is a good channel, y'all. I keep finding good channels over and over and over in the last few weeks. I'm going to do a series of videos where I just go around and show you the good channels I've been finding, because I could show you 100 different channels I've been finding lately. YouTube is having another resurgence of good content creators that are getting up here and doing good stuff. So I need to actually show you more people. AB's really good. AB Science. Great videos. He doesn't post a lot because he's a busy guy. He's a scientist. So here's what happened here. I need to find the 3 weeks ago. Here we go. Sleeping Warrior's relative density disequilibrium in the start of a model. So what he did was take Sleeping Warrior's jargon that he's always spitting out of his face hole, and he tried to apply it to a real mathematical, real scientific model. The thing that Sleepy Warrior and ARWIJN and Nathan Oakley and all these fools would do if they actually knew something, right? Sleeping Warrior, though, realized, hold on a minute. He's not trying to debunk me. He's not trying to put me down. He's trying to help me. But he, in his paranoid ways, attacked AB Science because he knew if you apply math to what I say, it's not going to work. You're just going to expose me in the end, AB Science. So I'm going to go ahead and get it out of the way and attack you first. And that's exactly what he did. The entire saga is hilarious and wonderful, and I'd love to watch the entire thing with you, but for time's sake, we're just going to dip our feet into the shit show, the dumpster fire known as Sleeping Warrior's reaction to AB Science building him a model off of his stupid talking points. Take a look.
Oh yes, Sleeping Warrior has created a response to my video where I explored a formulation of classical mechanics with the starting point that the relative density disequilibrium causes a force. Now he asked me to do a response to his response, and I agreed to do so if I had time this week. Well, as you are watching, I clearly did have a bit of time to do a thing. Throughout the video, Riley demonstrates buckets of ignorance combined with an astounding amount of arrogance. Now, I won't go through the comments thoroughly, but I would like to highlight a couple of replies that he posted. Firstly, he thinks that I won't respond and address the points that he made. Well, that will happen in this video. Secondly, someone posted this comment.
By the way, AB Science actually is a physicist and as such is eminently more qualified in all areas of science than you are. Or are you going to claim you know more about physics than a physicist? That's okay. You'll just hide this comment as you did to my other comments.
Now, a sensible person would think to themselves, maybe I wonder if there is the possibility that I may have misunderstood something. But no, Anthony Riley takes this approach.
If he's a physicist and claiming models are physics, no wonder we are in this mess. He's pushing fake science. That's right. Sleeping Warrior responded to a physicist by telling him that a model isn't science. Now, there's a problem with this. For those of you that know what a model is, you know how wrong that statement is. And I think Sleeping Warrior used that concept as a defense mechanism to try and pull a flat earth move to try to stop AB Science in his tracks, because he knew if you create a model to my crazy shit, all you're going to do is debunk me and make me look stupid. But you're going to have to make up your mind as we go.
But let's have a look at the description of the video.
It's an attempt to debunk the relative density disequilibrium position that I...
See, he knows already. See, this is the thing. You don't know that. In fact, if the position that you're pushing forth is true, then when this physicist applies mathematics to what you've done, it will prove what you've done. But if before he does it, you know that it's going to fail, it means that you're lying about your results. That means you know that a model cannot represent what you're doing. So there's some deception there, right? That's what I think happened here.
I currently actively endorse.
Now, Riley states that I tried to debunk him with the application of pseudoscience. Now, this is the first hint that shows that he hasn't got a clue what he is talking about.
So true.
I was trying no such thing. I merely tried to explore classical mechanics.
See, because I took physics in college, and I took calculus too. It sucked. I didn't like it. I didn't continue forth, but I'm saying I at least took an introductory class. I think it was 101 or whatever. It ain't fun, y'all. It's hard. You got to study a lot. You take those classes, you're going to be sitting there after every single class studying all freaking night, and you're still going to be worrying if you're going into the next day prepared.
Starting with the assumption that what Anthony Riley is saying is actually correct. So yeah, there's no attempt to debunk you there, mate. I'm just trying to build an internally consistent model.
Now, AB Science, he is being honest here. He's not trying to debunk him. He's going to build the model, and then the model's going to represent what Riley's doing. Basically, though, like Riley knows, what his intent is to show that buoyancy equals gravity because gravity's fake. And he knows that the physicist is going to show how gravity isn't fake by making the model. It's going to once you translate Riley's experiment to a model, you're going to have a force that is gravity for it to make sense. You know, that's what I'm saying here. Now the thing is, after I watched this, it started to dawn on me. I'm like, oh my God, you can really show this as, if we clip this correctly and make it into a video correctly. And I think maybe people have done it, I don't know. You can really show the deceptiveness of Sleeping Warrior and all other flat earthers that use the argument of buoyancy. This is something that needs to happen, because their buoyancy argument may sound like to a layperson that it could work. It could excuse gravity, and that's why it fools some people. But if you actually look at it in terms of how a mathematician or a physicist would look at it, you know immediately that, hey, there's something missing here from the experiment. Of course, this isn't going to work. Anyway, I'll let you see, because you'll see it as it goes.
I've already downloaded and put through the video editor his video.
No. I'm not saying that. I've got 3. Yeah. You might not have been for the last one. The Terminator line is just my first point, okay? That's my first point. It's not just the Terminator line, of course. Explaining the night-day cycle. The Terminator line, though, I'm specifying it because a lot of flat earthers, they make that little thing that, you know, the flat disk with the sun and the moon going over it, right? And of course, what I'm saying is focus to the Terminator line, because a lot of them say, you know, that would explain it. And you know it wouldn't. I know it wouldn't, because the line on the Earth is a straight line. The Terminator line cuts it straight down the middle. So yeah, the Terminator line is just my first trap, okay? When they try to come back with that, I'll be ready with point number 2. Don't worry. I've got this plotted out. I've already laid the groundwork for the most excellent debunk for these guys. Now, the point is, though, if they ignore me, we're just going to have to call them flat churchers forever. And I think eventually they'll get annoyed enough until they're like, fuck it, we're going to make the model. We're going to do this for UNIRock because we're sick of being called flat churchers. It's really going to piss them off. I've already tested it. It really makes them mad.
And I've spent...
Dell went batshit when I called his chat a flat churcher for a while. He went batshit.
Things up where necessary, and I've turned the volumes down on stuff where necessary. It's going to turn that one down a little bit more because it's too loud.
Well, yeah, you would have. There are 2 reasons why you might have done that, and that is that either you don't want to risk your audience actually following the logical flow of the arguments I present because it destroys your little narrative, or you just didn't understand any of it. Now, I'll be generous and assume that you did it because of the latter reason. After all, you think that I tried to debunk your claim, and this demonstrates that you didn't get the most important part of the video. But let's move on.
I have already done this video once, and I realized that I had my gate on too high, and it was cropping out too much of my voice.
Yeah, so one thing that I think really exposes Sleeping Warrior here is that when AB talks, he goes at not just 2 times speed, he goes at like 50 times speed, and you really can't hear anything AB says. I want you to watch the full video, though. I've been dropping the link, so after this, you know, you have time, check this out because it's really good. I'm going to skip through parts of it, of course, to respect AB science and to respect fair use, so you get me.
So I am going to have to keep an eye on the voice side of it. I'm going to open up my voice meter and I'm going to keep an eye on the levels, which is what I did not do first time round, in the attempt of saving me doing this for a 3rd time.
Screw voice meter, you need to look at your OBS studio.
Anyway, let's get going. I'll be short, sweet, concise, to the point.
A while ago, I did a video about Sleeping Warrior's little experiments where he thinks that he shows that some relative density disequilibrium creates a force. Now, I remarked that for this to be true, we need a coefficient to make sure that the units work, and a coefficient would need to have units of meters to the 5th power divided.
So if you were going to speed somebody up to like 50 times regular speed, you're going to do it so you can quickly get through the video. He doesn't quickly get through the video, and you're going to see that he repeats himself. I thought about doing a cut where I download the video and I cut it down to only when he repeats this one argument that he makes, but it's probably not worth it. It would be boring. But listen for it. Listen for Sleeping Warrior repeating himself over and over and over.
Per second squared. Now, of course, the whole relative density disequilibrium thing is nonsense, but I thought it would be fun to see where this would go if we assumed that it...
We don't need to have a coefficient to see if anything works. I don't know why you have this perception. We don't need coefficients to see if things work. That's not what science is. Science is cause and effect.
Now, this is one of those arguments that he will literally not stop with. I mean, over and over and over and over.
We'll come back to
and
the definition of science in a moment, but I don't know why you would be citing that we need coefficients when we.
Well, a coefficient is a numerical or constant quantity placed before and multiplying the variable in the algebraic expression, or a multiplier or factor that measures a property. So it does sound pretty necessary, right?
Don't.
I mean, if we do look at it in layman's terms here.
We just don't. The only reason why you're saying that is to justify you sciencing or mathematizing or Einsteining the shit out of this situation. That's all you're doing. You're justifying your future behavior.
Now, somebody taught me something in the comments section of one of these videos, and I don't know which one it was. They said that Riley was a law student. He never became a lawyer, but he was a law student. So they made this argument that what he's trying to do is walk into court and make an argument for a scientific experiment, and you just can't do that. That does explain some of why, if you ever listen to Nathan Oakley, who Sleeping Warrior goes and talks to all the time, they always try to argue semantics or language, right? They try to redefine words, or they try to look at a dictionary definition and act like that they can pull out parts of that and make scientific arguments with it, when we all know the words we use mean nothing to the actual thing that's going on in the natural world. That's just the way we describe it. You get me? So the whole point is, you can't necessarily go into the dictionary and say, hey, this says this word means, atmosphere container. You have to have a container. You ever hear Quantum Eraser? Container. Conspiracy Cat's Container song for Quantum Eraser. It's really good, though. The song's really good, actually. But you know what I'm saying. They think that if they go into that definition, they can argue some semantic argument to debunk something, and that's not how science works. And but he thinks he can say math doesn't apply, but his semantic argument applies. It's just ridiculous.
We don't need what you're saying here. Coefficients we just do not need.
Well, you do. If you actually watch the video, then you would understand why. And the issue is that regardless of how you formulate it, your relative density disequilibrium nonsense does not have the proper dimensions you need. So you need a coefficient in place to ensure that the problems are dimensionally consistent. Now, this coefficient could just have a magnitude of 1, but for the model to work, you still need it.
Carry on.
We're true. Now, what follows is a demonstration of how we approach physics.
What follows is a demonstration of how we approach.
See, do you see the one of the issues? It's demonstrated a lot when flat earthers argue something, especially a physicist or another like a scientist or something, but they don't play by the same terms, right? The same rules. They have a different semantic, or you could just say a different definition of science, right? Maybe that's what's caused a little bit of the misunderstanding, but I don't think so. What I think they're doing is they're arguing this in a deceptive way. I just want to make sure I apply that here, that you understand what I'm saying. It's I'll let him keep going. It'll make my argument.
Physics. Listen,
you should check out BM Furball's 3-hour interview with Sleeping Warrior, says Daniel Cooper. Thank you, Daniel Cooper. I actually have been looking for a video to play, because at night on my DLive channel and on my Periscope channel at the same time, I always stream and watch a video while I play a video game at the end of the night, like at 10 or 11 or 12, at night. So I needed a video for tonight. I will find it. I'll pull it up right now, and then tonight when we go into the video game, I'll listen to it. I'd love to hear it. So,
carefully to what he says here,
Thank
because
you.
What he says is not what physics is. Let's quote the guy verbatim.
We start with a statement and then develop it to create a model, and we then test that model. It's simple as that.
Is this it right here? Okay. Anthony Riley and his thesis paper interview, 3 out, part 1, 2, and 3, each are an hour long. Let me know if that's it, Daniel, because if it is, yeah, I'll play that tonight on my when I game.
No, we start with a statement, and in my case, relative density disequilibrium. If I change the density of the medium, the egg will move. That was my hypothesis. That's my statement. So we start with a statement. We're all right at that point. But we don't create a model and then test it to see if it works. That's not what we do in science.
That, my friend, is where you go wrong. And if it weren't for this bit of wrongness, I probably wouldn't even bother making this video. What we do in physics is develop a model. This could be a model for how shit falls or the efficiency of an engine. It doesn't really matter. What we then do is fit the model to some data and see how well it fits. If it is a good fit, then that is great, but it doesn't actually prove that the model is correct. It merely shows that it is a less bad model than the...
Now, do you think the Sleeping Warrior already knows this? I do, but then again, like I said, he could be trying to jumpstart, get ahead of the fact that once the model's there, he knows it's going to demonstrate how wrong he is, right?
Others, which don't fit as well. The best model then becomes part of our theory, provided that it gels well with the established theory. But if the best model doesn't work with theory, then either the model is wrong or the theory is wrong. And actually, in this area, it's where physics gets the most interesting. So in essence, actually, a model is just a very rigorously built hypothesis. Your issue with models is that you don't actually want a formal framework in which to operate, because without one, you can spout bullshit all day long without...
Yes, exactly. This is why Riley, Oakley, and the rest... This is one of the best quotes of the video. And I mean the response video, the first video, the other response video. One of the best quotes. This, I'm going back. I'm going to have him say it again. This is so perfect. It describes it so well. Like, it's just so good. Say it again.
Actually, in this area, it's where physics gets the most interesting. So in essence, actually, a model is just a very rigorously built hypothesis. Your issue with models is that you don't actually want a formal framework in which to operate, because...
Oh, it's such a good quote. I need that quote so that I can, like, put it at the end of every flat earth debunk.
Without one, you can spout bullshit all day long without performing a single proper hypothesis test. And no, a hypothesis test is a little bit more complicated than just shrugging and going, yeah, sure, it looks like it, so it must be true.
So let's see what a couple of these definitions are for the benefit of audience here. Science.
The intellectual and practical activity encompassing the systematic study of the structure and behavior of the physical and natural world through observation and experiment.
Now let's see what he does. Let's see what he does with these definitions, because you always hear these guys talking about fallacies. You always hear them trying to call out different parts of arguments, right? But they never once look into the mirror to see what they try to do with definitions and semantics. And I'm starting to find that commonality more and more and more with all the flat earthers. They're always arguing semantics. It's their modus operandi for defense. You get me? They think it's a defense, and it's not. And once one of them fully realizes how bad it makes them look to argue semantics when they're trying to argue science, I think they might walk that back a little. They'll start to pull away from that, because it's really not the defense argument they think it is.
This definition again. Let's see how many of the bits I actually addressed.
The intellectual.
Yep, I covered that. I thought about things.
And practical activity.
Yes, I did a thing.
Encompassing the systematic study and...
Well, I was nothing but thorough, logical, and systematic.
I can back you up there, buddy. Definitely.
Of the structure and behavior.
Yep, definitely covered that.
Of the physical and natural world.
Yes, that was the subject matter.
Through observation.
Yes, the observation that a change in density did a thing, which is incorrect, by the way.
And experiment.
Holy shit, I even did that.
There's a lot of ands in there. You've got to do a lot to qualify for science.
What now?
Notice that it doesn't say anything about making any models.
See what I'm saying? See where I'm going here? Do you see him doing this thing I just talked about? All right. All right.
Well, have you considered this word?
That's a problem if you're going to claim that doing science or physics involves making a statement and then modeling it and then testing the model, because that's not science.
A scientific model, scientific modeling, is the generation of a physical, conceptual, or mathematical representation of a real phenomenon that is difficult to observe directly. Scientific models are used to explain and predict the behavior of real objects or systems and are used in a variety of scientific disciplines. Riley.
It's not physics.
I really want to insult the guy. I'm trying to stop myself.
Either, which we'll come to in a sec. But let's just be clear. This guy said talking about making models, and I'm going to say this is complete and utter rubbish. Next statement here that is pertinent here.
These guys really think that words are powerful, don't they? You know? They think words can change the physical world. At least they act like that. They definitely think that words can prove that the earth is flat.
Definition for pseudo.
Or that gravity is debunked. They think words do that.
Pseudoscience. I use this all the time. Pseudoscience, a collection of beliefs or practices mistakenly regarded as being based on scientific method. So,
how ironic is it? How painfully ironic is it that Sleeping Warrior just read that sentence? How painfully ironic.
So what you do then?
Well, this is clearly a practice, and it is definitely not being based on scientific method. It's being based on a model by definition.
Wow.
Definition, if it is based on a...
You notice that he doesn't look up the definition for the word model, or the word scientific model? You realize he doesn't do that? I just did it. You realize that's the one thing he doesn't do? Maybe he does. Maybe I'm wrong. Let's wait and see. I could be wrong. I was laying down last night when I watched all this.
A model, rather than based on scientific method, it clearly satisfies the definition for pseudoscience, which is what my friend here is clearly practicing.
So if he argues that models are pseudoscience, and he argues that math is pseudoscience, then he knows he can go to YouTube and keep arguing a bunch of jargon for people to send him money.
Next one, he did mention the word physics, so let's consider the meaning of the word physics. Just type it in Google, see what it comes up with. The branch of science concerned with the nature and properties of matter and energy.
The nature and properties, okay, of matter and energy. All right, so basically everything, right? Because a moving object of matter has kinetic energy or potential energy, right? And all of that, all of the nature and properties of the matter and energy are considered physics. So, damn, that's like everything.
The subject matter of physics includes mechanics, heat, light, and other radiation, sound, electricity, magnetism, and the structure of atoms.
So you realize if they... Hey, Riley, let me make a point. If this definition left out something that is included in physics, does that mean that that thing isn't included in physics? What if one of the definitions that's written down includes something in physics that's not concerned with physics? Would that mean that in the real world it's not? By your argument, of course it would mean that.
No, I am not arguing with that, but all we have shown is the domain with which physics concerns itself. You see, all the other bits are too complicated to express in simplistic physics terms. However, this definition does not say anything about methods.
Doesn't mention anything about modeling stuff, does it? Modeling is modeling. Modeling is not.
Yeah, but what's to say? How does that mean, though, that modeling has nothing to do with physics? You know? Really weird argument. He uses it a lot.
Physics is not modeling. There is no part.
Seems like it's not really that well thought out. Seems like this dude doesn't think a lot about what he tries to argue with other people, right?
Part of physics that has models. You can test models for predictability purposes, but they are not part of physics.
You realize if you make a model and you can predict with the model, then it makes the model real, right? Or are you arguing that the model's fake even if it can be used? So if I use a model that can predict when I throw a ball exactly where it's going to land based on the wind, based on air resistance, based on how much force I use, based on the catapult I used, whatever I use, wouldn't that mean that the model is correct in predicting where it's going to land? Yes. So where does it become fake? I have the hardest time trying to see Sleeping Warrior's argument. It's a disconnect. I'm like hitting a wall when I'm trying to see his argument. And I wonder, how does a flat earther not have that happen to them? Or how does someone that supports this guy, which I know there's not that many left, but still, how do they just lose it, right? So as they are trying to understand his argument, is there a point where they just like float away in their mind, and at the end they come back like, yeah, I still support him. You get me? Are they just not paying attention? Do they not fully understand what's going on? Because his argument's very weak. It's hard to even understand what he's arguing. You get me? It's hard to describe that too.
They are part of forecasting or modeling, but they are not physics.
Then how do you describe energy and how energy works with matter without doing this, though? You're basically like contradicting yourself.
Well, yes. Please point out at which point I claim that what I'm saying is even remotely close to a scientific theory. It is a model. It is all based on the assumption that you are right about the relative density disequilibrium. And
yeah, exactly. He's scared that, your model's going to expose him, I think.
Guess what?
I
test the model.
I think my argument's pretty good.
For its usefulness as a predictive tool.
What I did find was this particular definition, which our friend should be aware of. Reification. It's a fallacy of ambiguity when an abstraction, in this case a hypothetical construct that he's referring.
Yeah, but how does a fallacy get applied here, right? Isn't a fallacy... Well, aren't fallacies only applied in debates?
...to as model is treated as if it were a real concrete event or a physical...
I'm not saying I'm right there. I'm asking the question.
...entity. He's about to demonstrate to his stupid audience...
Yeah, aren't fallacies only supposed to be applied in debates? I need to figure that out. Type it in the chat, the answer to that.
His dumbass audience, that he can create a model that doesn't...
I think he starts insulting the audience just because of how butthurt he is that every person in the comments, it tells him how dumb he is. I think that's what did that.
...purport to reality, and then he's going to pin it on me because his own model doesn't work.
Now, this one is brilliant. I love how he pulls this one up because this clearly demonstrates his inability to read past the first 3 sentences of any article. Now, I did ask him if he read the whole article.
You're flashing this shit too fast, brother, man. I want to see what he said.
I did ask him if he read the whole article.
Okay, so, AB, Sleeping Warrior, have you read the rest of the article? Sleeping Warrior, I'm very familiar with the article. Reification and context, he spelled it wrong. Models treated as reality is textbook reification. How does that make sense? I mean, they have models that predict the path of the sun, the path of Mars and Venus, the path of an asteroid, the path of the stars. I don't understand I don't get his argument. I don't. Somebody explain it to me. Daniel says, did you see Blue Marble Science video on Nathan Roberts and Coriolis? Nathan Roberts tried to demonstrate Coriolis with a pop fly baseball and Big Blue shot him down hard. I did, and I left comments there, and I am so obsessed with that channel because it's so good. Like, for one, the idea is awesome, right? It's this guy who... he's kind of talks like he's from the South, and he's got a donkey with him. What's the donkey's name? Alice, or I forget. And then the banjos start playing. It's a great channel, man. Blue Marble, one of my favorite channels right now. I tell him that in every comment. I'm like, dude, this is one of my favorite channels right now. Every time. Yeah, it was a great video. Did you notice in that video where what's his name? Roberts? Nathan Roberts. I get all the Nathans mixed up. There's so many of them. Roberts is like gets up into the camera and he's talking about religious concepts, or it's just so good, man. He picks the best clips to use. Yeah, Blue. He's so good.
Which is funny because if you scroll
Gladys, not Alice, Gladys. Thank you, Daniel. Yes.
down a bit, then you'll find this paragraph. The degree to which a construct is useful and accepted in the scientific community depends on empirical research that has demonstrated that a scientific construct has construct validity, especially predictive validity. Thus,
yeah, that's what I'm trying to say. How in the hell does Sleeping Warrior talk about how, like, being able to predict these things with these models makes the models invalid? It's so dumb.
if properly understood and empirically corroborated, the reification fallacy applied to the scientific construct is not a fallacy at all. It is one.
The degree, let me read this again. I want to understand what he's saying here. The degree to which a construct is useful and acceptable in the scientific community depends on empirical research that has demonstrated a scientific construct has construct validity, especially predictive validity. And that's exactly, yes, that's right. Okay, that's what I'm thinking here. That's where I'm at. That's where my brain's been. If properly understood and empirically corroborated, the reification fallacy applied to scientific constructs is not a fallacy at all. It is one part of a theory creation and evaluation in normal science. Maybe that's why I'm having such a hard time understanding Sleeping Warrior's position. It's almost like he's just saying it, you know, because that's exactly right.
One
that makes
part
sense.
of a theory creation and evaluation in normal science. Just properly read your sources for once.
That actually happens to Sleeping Warrior all the time. There was another comment that said that one time Sleeping Warrior was making an argument against gravity or something, and he was reading about some philosopher or some scientist from like 1820, and he ended up reading from the wrong philosopher's page the entire time and making some argument and shit. I don't remember what they said, but he does this shit a lot.
Does that mean that he's demonstrated that I'm wrong, or does he just demonstrate?
Renee said there's a relatively new video featuring Sleeping Warrior that you absolutely need to see. Give me the title, man. That's the best way for me to find a video. If you give me the title, I can pull it right up. Definitely. And I'm looking for videos, man. I need you guys to submit me stuff, 100%. I operate off of submissions, and we're going to be getting back to ARWIJN before we end this, so don't worry.
That his own model's wrong, but basing it all on your model is logically fallacious. It is a fallacious reasoning position.
It's not, though. This whole time, I mean, I don't know how many times he says this throughout this fight with AB, and the whole time it makes no sense.
It's circular. A common case of reification is the confusion of a model with reality. This is what my friend is about to do.
And I don't know where he's getting this, man. I don't know where he's getting this. That's not how it works in science. And that's what AB just showed.
And also there's a key bit that you've missed, and that is that I am not asserting that the model is correct or a reflection of reality, let alone reality itself.
He's saying that the model is the thing he's going to use to show how this experiment you're doing is happening, right? And then you're saying, no, you can't do that before he even did it. It's really weird.
But of course, I don't expect Sleeping Warrior to appreciate nuance.
I have had the privilege of watching this video first, that's why I've annotated it all. The guy's a moron. He's part of the problem, he's not science, he is part of the antithesis of science.
Do you notice how he keeps calling him a moron? Well, the thing is, he also tries to argue throughout this entire battle that he's not asserting that he's smarter than the physicist. He is asserting that he's smarter than a physicist. Calling the physicist a moron and acting like you're not a moron is saying that you're smarter than the physicist. You get me?
And that's the reason.
If you want to see Riley's contradictions, Minnie's The Word Salad, check out Babe's Troglodyte, Dancing with the Flurf. Let me type in Dancing with the Flurfs and see if I can grab it.
Why I'm here pointing this out to my audience. Now, whether you accept that or not is entirely up to you, but now let's listen to what the guy says.
Now, I will try to develop a model which is internally consistent and holds with other laws of physics, namely
an internally consistent model that holds with other laws of physics, namely whatever he's about to say, it's going to be reification, because models are not physics, sir. Why you would present yourself as physics, I do not know, but you are clearly fallacious. You are reifying a model as reality. That is wrong. Not science, not physics.
Got it.
Pseudoscience. That's what it literally is.
The conservation of energy, momentum, and therefore kinematics. Now, when we look at words relative density disequilibrium, we conclude that he means to say that forces are caused by a difference in density. An object in a medium moves to a point where the difference in the object's density and the surrounding medium's density is the smallest.
Why don't you quote me verbatim with what I actually said? You should be quoting me verbatim. I said, if I manipulate the medium, I will force the egg to move. That's what I said. I didn't say what you just said. Whether that's true or not is irrelevant, but you should be citing my position. If I change the medium or the density...
Wow. He should be citing your position when you're not concerned with even accurately representing his in any way? Okay.
...of the object in question, I can force a displacement. I am working within scientific method. I am conforming or confirming.
No, you're working within your weird definition of the scientific method. Like, none of these guys act like peer review matters in an experiment. You never hear a flat earther maintain one of the most vital parts of the scientific experiment, of an experiment at all. Peer review. It's not something that's outside of it. It's a necessary part of it. Your experiment cannot be completed or exist without it. You try to demonize the scientific community while stating that you're going to do some kind of weird, redefined scientific experiment. You've got to submit it for peer review. You got to let other people try it out. And then, you know, if you've messed up, if you've lied about a part of it, if you've fudged a number, if you've done something wrong, they're going to call it out. All of them will, because they're all going to do it the right way. Some people may mess it up. They'll get called out. They'll get corrected. You get me? The point is, everyone can do what you're testing. Everybody can see the same result. That's what peer review is for. It's very important. Every flat earther who talks about an experiment never mentions peer review, and they always conveniently skip over it, even though they want to pride themselves on following a scientific method or an experimental process. Keep an eye out for that.
Science. That's what you should be saying. What you've just said there is not my position. May be accurate, may not be accurate, but it's not my position. You just made that shit up.
I see that you still have issues with understanding things. I am not trying to debunk you. I am not trying to strawman you. I am merely trying to develop your ideas further. My formulation of your...
And that scares the hell out of the guy.
Relative...
They have to have control. Do you ever notice that Jaren and Bob are like that? They want absolute control over their experiment. They don't want to log it. They don't even want to, accurately record it. They want to give you certain parts of their recordings. They want to give you most of the time, they go into every experiment predicting the result. I'm sorry, I said predicting. Telling you what the result's going to be. You get me? They're always expecting... They're never expecting for anything to happen in any experiment other than what they say is going to happen. And that's not why you do experiments. You do experiments to prove yourself wrong, to change something, and to keep going until you've got it right. You get me?
Density disequilibrium is, as far as I can see, the only formulation which makes sense.
Go with this bit now. I think I've sped this bit up.
I've always said that I hope like a real scientist or a real physicist will try to sit down and actually do what flat earthers claim to do. And that's what happened here. And it scared this guy so bad that he's just had to cry through the whole process.
Yeah, I've sped this bit up. I've turned the volume down.
You've sped this bit up so fast that we don't even get to see anything of what he said. It's very strange. It's almost like you get completely debunked and owned during this part, but I don't know.
Because basically he's Einsteining the shit out of this.
What's wrong with Einstein? I don't understand. Why do they keep using this word Einsteining the shit? What do you even mean? How do you expect us to know what you mean?
Well, if you actually understood what I'm saying, then you would realize that I'm formulating a model based on your ideas in this.
There, so he literally skips the part where he formulates the model based on his idea. I want to go see the model, but I'll do it offline.
Video, I'm not disputing you. I'm merely exploring your ideas.
With a load of mathematics, and the purpose of it is to make a really presentable and verifiable
No, that's what you should have done. If you expect to be taken seriously and not ridiculed for the rest of your existence, you should have did this yourself. You can't just leave this part out and then act like you've proven something. It's why no one will ever respect the flat earth. But honestly, I think this is a whitewash. I think that by now, Sleeping Warrior, Nathan Oakley, they know. They've been told so many times, and you can, with Oakley, you can just tell. Sleeping Warrior is the same way. In fact, I'm almost convinced, and this is my opinion, that when these guys aren't on the air, that they're off the air talking about how they can further keep the illusion of the flat earth going, because they know that the earth isn't flat. It becomes so apparently obvious just watching the debunking of these guys, and they've had to watch it. They respond to a lot of them, if you get my drift. Shilly McShillington, Roxanne, the globalist denier, has the footage of Riley getting burnt by a scientist in Liverpool. I would love to have that clip, buddy. Hook me up.
Incredible counter to my position, which I demonstrated with the egg, and I showed that if I changed the medium, the egg would displace.
Nope. This is not counter to your position. It is building on it.
It's that simple. The more this guy goes on about mathematics, he's literally trying to bamboozle his own.
He's scared of the math. He is afraid of the math, right? The worst part is he'll start using equations soon. He'll start quoting from equations here before this is over. And he doesn't realize that when he's quoting from equations, whether it's a letter or whether it's a number, that's math, dum-dum.
Audience with maths.
You see, I don't bamboozle. I use mathematics, but if you properly showed the opening screen to my video, then you would realize that I put a very big disclaimer saying that if maths is not your thing, then this video is probably not for you.
If math isn't your thing, you shouldn't be doing these tests. You shouldn't be trying to prove the shape of the earth, and you shouldn't be in this realm. Sleeping Warrior, Nathan Oakley, ARWIJN.
If I tried to bamboozle my audience, then I would not have shown the full derivation of the expressions that I used. You see, unlike most flat earthers, I adhere to a very important concept in science, and this is transparency. Even though it is at the cost of narrative, I will never compromise on completeness and do my best to make sure that all the steps are very clear. This is called having respect for your audience. On which note, where is the data from your experiments?
The problem is he's reifying his own model, and he's basically practicing pseudoscience.
No, this is not my model. Okay, I developed it, but it is the inevitable consequence of your conclusion, and it has fuck all to do with the model I actually work with in my day-to-day job. And at no point do I treat the model as if it were reality, so no reification there.
Now, at the end of the day, some people would argue that there is valid, credible maths in here. There may well be.
Yeah, there is.
I'm not a mathematician.
Yeah, that's pretty...
You don't have to be a mathematician to try to understand math. You have to be an expert in math to understand it? No. Do you have to be an expert in cooking to cook a meal? No.
Clear, because if you were, then you would realize that I'm not trying to debunk you.
I'm practicing science. Science is a...
You're not practicing science. It's the one thing that you got exposed more than anything else you've been exposed for not practicing, not even understanding what science is. Not even in a basic form, right? No.
Cause.
Not giving that to you ever. Like if Sleeping Warrior decided to go to college right now and literally comes out with a degree in math, I'm still, after witnessing what happened here, never going to trust that he knows math ever again.
Perfect relationship. It's an experiment where you either validate your hypothesis or your null hypothesis, but you will invalidate and reject the other. So if you accept your alternative hypothesis, you will invalidate your null hypothesis, and alternatively the opposite way around too.
Yeah, this is not quite right, but the general spirit is there, so I'll let you get away with this, as I don't really give a fuck about semantics.
Oh my god, thank you. I've been bitching about how these guys play the game of semantics for a month now. It's so nice to see somebody else actually get frustrated by their game of semantics also.
You don't need any maths in science. You don't need maths at all.
You know what you need in science, according to you, Riley? You need to argue words. You need to argue definitions. But you're losing the fact that what you say doesn't change the outside world. Therefore, it's useless. It's just useless.
Why? Because maths is a science. Science is a cause and an effect relationship. No room for maths in science.
I can't believe he even says that with his mouth. I don't know how anyone could agree with them who's not a complete moron. If you've been through just the beginning of elementary school, you know how wrong this is. I'm sorry, I meant middle school. You know, it's almost like these guys, no offense, because I have a lot of my friends have dropped out of school and they're still smart as hell and they get this shit. I don't know when this dude dropped out, but it must have been really early. I don't know. Or else he just didn't pay attention, or maybe he skipped a lot. Maybe he got really stoned when he went. I don't know what happened, but something happened when Riley was in school. He walked out without shit, dude. Without nothing.
Hold on. I thought that you need science to be repeatable and quantifiable.
Yeah, exactly, bro. But don't try to tell him that. He's going to redefine quantifiable and then try to say you're wrong.
How can you quantify something without using maths?
Yeah, I'd like to know that, Riley.
Yeah, you can use it as a predictive tool if you want to, but what if you make a prediction and it turns out to be wrong?
Then you redo your model, dum-dum. You figure out what happened. That's called testing.
Oh, my dear chum, that is a beautiful statement. Indeed.
It is. It really is. Yes, thank you. Thank you, AB Science.
What if you make a prediction and it turns out to be wrong? Well, this is truly where cutting-edge science lives. We can use all the maths we want, but if it doesn't agree with reality, then there's something funny going on. And this is the interesting bit. Provided that your maths is sound and your experiment is well performed, they should agree. If they don't, then something is wrong. Now, usually this means that the experiment is wrong, but sometimes the theory is wrong. And this is every physicist's dream.
Yes, that's the part where you get to go to work. That's the part where you get to go in and figure out what happened and are you missing something, and that's how discoveries are made. That's how the branches, that's how this entire thing has been pushed forward. It's how we have computers. It's how we have it's just how it works, dude.
But as you are not a mathematician, by your own admission, how do you know if your experiments are consistent with the current theory? Because I assure you that your egg experiment and your magnesium experiments are actually all consistent with established scientific theory without your relative density disequilibrium nonsense, which you would realize if you just used a bit of maths. Now, I go through this in my video.
That's why he never will. Wade says, last time I checked, chemistry is a science field. There is a lot of math in chemistry. Bro, I'm telling you, they don't realize how dumb they look. They don't realize, they don't see it. Now the point is, you know, some people will say, don't call them dumb, you're being mean. No. It's not about being mean or not being mean. It's about them purposely not educating themselves correctly and then trying to act like they're smarter than everyone else. This is Dunning-Kruger at its maximum exponent here, okay? Literally Dunning-Kruger times itself, all right, to the power of infinity and beyond. This is just, it's wonderful how incredibly stupid this sleeping warrior is without realizing it. Okay, that's Dunning-Kruger, but you know, he personifies it just like Oakley, and then they become good friends. But here's the deal, they both got all these people on the external trying to correct them politely, just like AB has done. They got all these other people that are trying to tell them like, no, this is it, here's where you're wrong. What they're doing, I think, just completely depends on their viewership, the people that tip them and send them money. You know, like some YouTubers, like they'll not give an opinion on a certain thing that happens out there that all the other YouTubers are talking about because they're worried that their audience is going to get mad and unsub because of it, right? It's one of those things in reverse. They want to make sure that they rile their subscribers up. They're like, this will confuse the hell out of my subscribers. So they play to that. And they get paid to do it, so they just don't give a shit. They're like, look, this physicist, I'm going to look like a complete moron arguing this, but this is what my freaking audience thinks, so I'm just going to, you know, live it to the fullest, you know?
Video about your magnesium experiments where I make some recommendations on how to perform it properly. But back to your video.
Does that mean that the science part of what you were doing is wrong, or does it just mean that your model is wrong? Well, this is what our friend is about.
How do you know? You just skipped his entire fucking model. You're literally admitting to it. How do you know if his model's wrong or not?
About to demonstrate adequately to my audience, and I'm going to point it out.
How are you going to do that when you didn't see what he did?
Oh yeah, I do make a prediction.
Those damn maths. Those damn maths.
And I provide very convincing evidence that the prediction is wrong. Now, the experiment is perfectly suitable to conclusively show this. So the prediction must be wrong, and the prediction is based on a rigorous and logically correct development of your conclusion that a relative density disequilibrium causes a force. Now, this leads to two possibilities, and these are that your conclusion regarding the relative density disequilibrium is wrong, or the maths is wrong, and by extension, the laws of physics are wrong.
Well, he didn't do any maths.
It's about to show that he makes a prediction based on his model that he attributes to me, and it doesn't match reality, and therefore he...
So what is your model then, Riley? What are the math behind, you know, what you're doing then? Are you saying there is no math behind what you're doing? Are you saying no one can assign math to what you did? That is your argument. How does that make sense? It doesn't make sense. It just doesn't make sense.
He claims a debunk of me, which we all know that cannot happen.
We all know you can't be debunked. Whoa!
And he's using his own bloody model. So let's see what happens now.
He doesn't get it. He doesn't get that he does. There is a model behind what he's done. He just needs to figure it out. And he doesn't want anyone else to either. He's like, I'm not going to do it, and neither are you. And if you do it, I'm going to go, nah, 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 boo, boo, nah, nah, boo, boo.
Oh, yes, let's see how I debunk my own model. Oh, no, there's something else first.
Oh, yes. I've stopped it here because I want this screen to be seen.
I thought you said that you didn't know maths.
Where to start with this?
This is maths. These are equations.
Air pressure is given by the following formula. P equals to blah, 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 blah.
That didn't say blah, 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 but okay.
Look at what we have here.
He even put it over here what each value means. He even put the values here, so you didn't have to go like try to look them up or something. Jesus.
In the top, this little above this in this equation here, we have this
figure them out. I mean,
this little G bit, and in the ledger at the side, he's put G as magical downward acceleration.
Because what is it? What is it, bro? This is the problem. This is why you're ignoring math, bro. You know that if you look at this, you need G. You know it, and I know it, and all the people watching right now know it. All the people that watched this 3 weeks ago knew it. That's why. This right here is why you are trying to say maths, and that's why you start making the damn argument. You knew ahead of time that math would show that you need G, and your whole purpose is to debunk G, because that's the popular thing to do in the flat earth movement. That's exactly why all of this happened, and it's so apparently easy to see. But don't go anywhere, because it gets worse. Much worse. And I need some lemonade, so I'm going to need 20 seconds to go get me a cup of lemonade.
I don't know if he's trolling me here or...
Yes, I definitely am. Now, I would have liked to use a different formulation, but for some strange reason, this little constant keeps popping up.
Yeah, it's pretty damn strange, isn't it? Maybe this is why flat earthers are scared of math.
I wonder why.
Or whether he's just being satirical or if he's just being a dope. But little G, well, there's a problem with using mathematics where you're trying to prove whether or not...
It couldn't be that you want to debunk gravity. Could it, Sleepy? Couldn't be that this entire big act is just because you know that math needs gravity, right? That no prediction can be made without it. Everything hinges upon it. Because it's present in the natural world. Because it exists as a force with a vector, a direction to it.
Not gravity exists.
Nope, once again, you are missing the point. I am not trying to prove anything like that whatsoever. All I'm doing on this slide is showing you where I got the values from. You know, it is that transparency bit I talked about earlier.
If
you just don't like it, Sleeping Warrior, that in order for the experiments that you perform to be represented with math, you have to have gravity.
If you calculate for gravity, you are begging the question. That is a...
Calculating for gravity is begging the question, even though if you take gravity out of every equation that correctly predicts what happens in our natural world, those equations don't work. But if you put gravity back into those equations, they do.
It's another logically fallacious position to take. So let's have a look at the definition for begging the question.
Holy shit, here we go again. Here we go again. Somehow the words he says and his semantic arguments equate to physical reality. It's ridiculous.
Any form of argument where the conclusion is assumed in one of the premises, well, that's what he's doing. He's begging the question. He's literally assuming that gravity exists in his calculations. It's a form of circular reasoning. Shouldn't be doing this, dude. This is not science. This is called deception.
Now, really nice work, Anthony. By asserting that I'm trying to prove that gravity exists, you are building a straw man.
What you have accused him of doing the entire time, by the way, Riley.
You can do this so you can invoke a fallacy. You see, my point is not fallacious as the calculations are consistent with reality. See my prior bit about the limits of reification fallacies. But by misrepresenting my intentions, you allow yourself to claim that I begged the question and conclude that my argument is incorrect because it's fallacious.
And the whole time, all of these deceptive tactics that Riley is projecting onto you are just being used to distract from the fact that he doesn't want to admit that you need gravity. If flat earthers tried to understand math in any way, and this is what I've been saying for years, back in the beginning when people would come to me on my main channel and say, do some flat earth videos, look at the flat earth, and I'd say flat earth is fake, bro. They'd get pissed at me, but this is why. If you do take math in school and you take a more advanced type of math, or geometry, I don't know, physics, pre-calc, whatever you take, you get me? You're going to figure this out pretty quick. But if you ignore those things and then go out and look at everything, somebody might be able to dupe you. Somebody might be able to convince you that the earth is flat or that the earth is a different shape than what they claim it is.
Oh, yeah. And
once you realize that, you can truly start to debunk the flat earth from the inside. Because the hard part of debunking the flat earth is understanding why people believe it. And then understanding the things that are preventing them from realizing the truth. And that's what I've done in the challenge that I'm issuing to those 5 people. Dell from Behind the Imaginary Curve. Nathan Thompson, just because, I'm sorry, wait, Thompson or, yeah, Thompson, because he's a dum-dum that bounces a ping-pong ball on a sledgehammer. ARWIJN, because he wants to shoot the debunkers in the United States. Nathan Oakley, I could give you a million reasons for that guy, but I won't. And then, of course, Sleepy.
And that latter bit is a fallacy in itself, known as the argument from fallacy. Seriously, you need to try harder.
Anyway. You do. No, seriously, thank you. That's a good point there. He does. You need to try harder because honestly, even a flat earther could watch this video, Riley, and see what you're trying to do. Even a flat earther.
Anyway, let's carry on. Oh, yeah, there's a secondary part to that. This is the great thing about annotating, you know, your work, so you don't forget anything. Little G.
You forgot to mention the real reason why you annotated, so that you could skip all the mathematics other than that last part.
The acceleration due to Earth's gravity. Well, the problem you've got is if you're trying to test for the existence of Earth's gravity, you shouldn't be calculating for it as though it exists.
So you're saying that there's not a force that pulls down. That's what you're trying to say. There you go. Once again, the cards fall on the table. Every single weird, ununderstandable, strange, deceptive thing that you put forth out all hinges on either covering up for you, covering for the fact that you guys are trying to leave gravity out of everything. Because why do flat earthers like Riley do this? That's another thing we should all think about eventually. I'm sorry to say it, but the nature of gravity exposes why they don't want to admit that gravity exists. Because they're fighting for a flat earth. They have to keep the payments coming in from their audience. And if you have gravity, then if a flat earth audience has gravity, they'll start to imagine a bunch of dots floating around in a void. In a universe, maybe. I don't know. In a space. In some space. Then they start to imagine that there is a force that attracts things to each other based on its mass. And once those things pile together, once all these things go in and click to each other, these small little dots, what do they form once they all click together? They form a circle composed of all the dots. The problem is the dots are in the Googleplex of dots and to make a planet. And then the flat earth movement falls apart from within the minds of the very people that you dupe for money. So you must argue against gravity, and you know this. Because you know you're ripping off the flat earth viewer. You know you're trying to convince them of things that are based off of them not having enough education to know what you're arguing against. Unfortunately, you did go to college, Riley, and you do know these things. Even if you went to college for law, you took some math, and you know.
Because that should be your presumed cause in your scientific experiment, shouldn't it? That's your independent variable. You shouldn't be calculating for it, because that's begging the question. Logically fallacious reasoning, you should not be doing it. That's because you can't science, as per your name. Anyway, let's carry on.
You know what I always say on my channel? And this is no offense to any good lawyer out there. There are a few of them. There are a few good lawyers out there, but you never trust two people. Who is it? And I mean ever. Two people you can never, ever trust. One is a politician. A politician is in the business of creating lies about other people to get themselves elected now. That's the current state of politics. Never trust a politician. And you never trust a lawyer. Off the bat. Not because they're bad people. There are good politicians, and yet they still have to do this. And there are some, there's a couple good lawyers in the world, but all of the lawyers have to argue for a client, even if the client's guilty. So by the basis of their occupation, you can't trust those two people. He's not a lawyer. He's a failed lawyer. That's even worse.
And the final position, which is row M of 0, and these correspond to the initial position being 1 meter above sea level and the final position being 1 meter below sea level. Oh shit, how did you not pick up on that mistake? Of course, the correct statement is at sea level rather than 1 meter below sea level. Really missed something there. We can now plug these values into our expression to get the value for the Riley coefficient for this system.
So we can now plug these values into your model to see if this so-called Riley coefficient that wasn't necessary in the first place. And
do you realize how flawed Sleeping Warrior's entire thing is? Because being a lawyer is what really got him in this one. That type of thinking that it takes to be one and win a case, right? And to argue in front of a jury. That's what got him. And the reason being, it's so... I'll let him go a little more before I make that last point.
You can see my prior comment regarding this.
It was only done to support the assertion that you're doing science by mathematicizing.
His whole argument basically says no math works, right? If you distill this whole thing down, he'd have, let's say he argues what he's arguing here, the principle of it, in another situation. He'd have to argue that 2 plus 2 can't equal 4. There are possibilities that exist in our world where you have 2 apples and 2 apples, and when you add them together, it equals 4. Maybe 3 apples and 1 apple equals 4, right? There has to be something there that doesn't work in that equation at some point. That would make mathematics unreliable to be able to predict things. It can change or something. Well, it doesn't. So your argument just sucks completely from the ground up.
The shit out of this, as per Einstein, was credible in some way, and we all know it's not. So there's
no, we don't all know that it's not, but whatever.
There's no science here at all, but we're testing, or you're demonstrating how your model fails, and then trying to pin that on me because your model doesn't predict reality. Oh, this is called dishonest.
No, what it is dishonest is when you state these things about his model and then don't go into his model yourself and show where it's wrong and then show how you would make the model right. When you try to wave the model away completely, that's dishonest. Now, if he was wrong in his model, before you could even state that, you would have to understand the model. This is my argument against flat earthers for years. If they want to say that rocket science is wrong or something like that, or whatever it may be, they need to actually go in and understand the math behind it, find where it doesn't work, show what the correct thing is there. You can't do that when your argument is, hey, gravity doesn't exist. You can't do that, though. So they don't do it. It's another thing that should expose this to any flat earther, that you're believing in something based on a person's ability to argue semantics, words. So do you argue words and semantics when it comes to physical reality? You don't. When do you do that? When it comes to belief, when it comes to the law, or when it comes to the church, right? That's when you sit down and you argue things like semantics, when you argue things like definitions in the church. The thing is, one thing that I have shown you is that Riley has done nothing through the entire clip but project the inadequacies that he knows are apparent in the way he's behaving onto AB Science, right? And that's what they do when they call any of us, what is it, fundies or whatever they say. They try to say we're religious fundamentalists for believing in science or believing in maths. You don't have to believe in math or science. You get me? And he's literally, in facing off against this physicist, it's shown, it's proven, it's exposed about him. I wish it would have been Nathan Oakley sitting next to him, helping him with this, because it would have been so great to see both of them taken down in this way. But eventually, Oakley's going to either have to man up or shut up when it comes to his challenges against gravity and math and science, too. He's going to have to either face off against somebody who does know what they're doing more than all of us do on a more expert level, right? So I think that Oakley will be got some time. But it all kind of rolls into this thing. I'm challenging them. You are provably... Riley, Oakley, Dell, you guys are provably the fundies. You are the ones that have to argue semantics and words and principles or whatever the hell you're arguing here. You guys are the flat churchers. And after I put out a video tomorrow, you're going to be called a flat churcher from here on out until you sit down and draw out a model of how day and night could work on a flat earth, because I can show you easily how it works on the globe. Tomorrow, I actually go into a simulator, a universe. I'm going to upload the video where I go into a universe simulator and demonstrate night and day working in a complete simulation of the solar system and universe. And then I'm even going to show you a bunch of cool stuff I found in it. It's going to be a good video, so look out for it. But it's a challenge. It's all going to be based on the fact that I'm going to challenge them to do what this program has done in a very basic way with a pad of paper and a couple sentences or a couple paragraphs. Tell me how night and day works. Submit that to the community of debunkers. Let them test what you guys say is your model for night and day. Don't have to get complicated. You don't got to tell me where Venus is on March 12th like we can do. You don't have to tell me where Mars is on January 8th of 2180, but like we can do, by the way. You could just tell us where the sun, where the moon, where the earth is, and night and day, and how it works. That's all we want. And once they submit that, I think it's going to be apparently obvious that they can't even do that. There's just no way to. And then I got 2 other. Like I said yesterday, I got 3 total things. If they want to try the first one, and they're going to fail at it, of course, we'll give them as many chances as they want to take. But we'll move on to the 2 other things I have that will completely demonstrate how no flat earther can even move past the most basic concept of the flat earth so that they can argue things like Coriolis effect or R or any of those things. We'll get into that tomorrow. I want, though, to shout out AB Science because he did such a great job in this, you know. He stuck to his guns. He didn't let Riley do this to him. I'm putting the link in the chat. He didn't let Riley find a way to come in and kind of jive and dance around, and he just, you know, called him out for every point. He systematically debunked the guy and really exposed the deceptive tactics of Riley. Because when these guys are sitting there in debate and they start to yell and scream and all that, people will say, well, they're mad, so we'll give them a pass. But in this situation, you know, when Riley's calm throughout the whole thing, and when he's misrepresenting all these basic things so much, like the complete absurdity of his arguments have to be able to be seen even by the most convinced flat earther. You know, he definitely lost this. And I didn't see a single comment that said that anything different in any of the videos, even on what's-his-name's channel, Riley's channel. So anyway, let's move on because I got to get... I'm not staying... Oh, my God, is it midnight? How do I have 140 viewers at midnight? Hold on, is my count off? Let me see if it's off. There's no way I got 140 viewers at midnight. It just doesn't ever work that way. We usually start winding down by now. It's late, guys. I appreciate you watching me, and I want to stream for you. I've been going 2 hours. I want to stream even longer, but I'm going to go ahead and end this out. Watch the beginning of this if you missed it, because, well, you know what? Let me just go ahead real quick and tell you what happened in the beginning of this video, because it's great. So this guy said this yesterday night. Take a listen. I believe it. Oh, yeah. It's after the teddy bear.
Any reference frame.
Just out of interest, any people who've ever worked with a gun ever, do they need to worry about the wind? Does it just cut,
yeah.
Does it just cut through that and ignore it completely because of aerodynamics now? I can't get any.
Oakley, did you sit down a little too fast or something here, buddy? What happened?
Higher than that.
No, no, but definitely not on the short range. It's not wind is not going to be an issue. But if you're going to be doing long range shots, yeah, of course.
So if you were firing a bullet in a hurricane, you got no issues, right?
Depends on how much range you're going to be firing
You really have to ask questions like that, Oakley.
over.
You've never fired a gun before, have you, Oakley?
10 yards.
How far is that in meters?
10 meters.
Right. Well, that
Can I just
you're going to
add
have
a
some.
story?
Yeah, you're going to have some deflection, I guess.
Right,
not.
here we go.
I don't know. I've never actually fired a gun.
Boom. Boom. That'll be the end of that then. Boom.
There
Go on.
it comes.
Who is it in Discord? Is it Darren?
Man, if
Yeah,
I ever go to the United States, I'm going to be
cool.
testing
Look,
Coriolis.
Look, Owen's pissed.
If I ever go to the United States, says little skinny arms Arwin, I'm going to be testing Coriolis so much. You do know what testing Coriolis... They just said it. Testing Coriolis is firing a gun. He's going to be... If he goes to the U.S.
Yeah, mate.
Let it out, Arwin. Go on.
I said if
Right.
I'm ever going to go to the United States, I'm going to be doing so much Coriolis tests
Oh, are you?
with guns.
Oh, with guns. You're going to even add that in, are you?
Going to have a huge amount of fun with that.
Why would Arwin not like people in the U.S. other than the fact that a lot of debunkers that have pissed him off are in the U.S.? Wow.
Arwin wants to feel the warm, soothing lead leave his hand. Anyway.
Yeah, you see, the reason Arwin talks like this is he's never fired a gun. I'll bet you he's never fired a gun at another man.
Go ahead, Brian. Darren, sorry.
At all. I bet he's never even probably been in a fight. So I put up a video earlier on my channel of Arwin saying this and me telling people that Arwin said this, and looked at the comments, and some people said, oh, well, is he serious or is he joking? Well, he's not joking. He was angry when he said it, but he still could have just been angry and just talking shit, right? I mean, it's not like he has a past of making very violent statements over and over and over again to where we should probably take something like that he says even the slightest bit seriously and worry about the fact that he's probably a danger to people, right? I don't know. You tell me. Let's look at some past clips of ARWIJN. Let's see what he said in the past. That way we can make an accurate judgment of whether he or not we should worry. Now, he said that comment last night, okay, about testing the Coriolis. Pew, pew, pew. He said that last night on the Flat Earth debate. Hadn't even been 24 hours. Maybe it's just now been 24 hours. I'll tell you what. I'll let it go if ARWIJN doesn't have any past comments that are worrisome. Let's check.
He instantly always jumps in on the Flat Earth debates every single time. But no, ARWIJN, no, you gotta be in that special mood. Because, oh my god, it's so scary with ARWIJN. So yeah, that was half cut off. Thank you, screw you, you piece of shit internet. Everything's screwing with me, like every time. I wanna grow up in a non-liberal family. I wanna grow up in a non-liberal family. I wanna grow up in a non-liberal family. I remember the guy basically secretly lusting over me. Like, putting his hand on my shoulder like, oh, you're such a great Spartan. And it freaks me out. It freaks me out because I want to kill him. I can't stand it anymore. I can't stand it. Stop talking about it and do something! Kill them all! Now! Slice them open! Do it! Just get rid of them all! And do it fast! Don't fuck around!
I'm so scared, ARWIJN.
Get rid of them! Stop talking about it and do something!
You're a real tough guy, ARWIJN.
Get your goddamn shotgun, whatever the fuck you got, knives, and just go to them and freaking kill them all! No!
I bet you sit around and fantasize about things like this, don't you? After hearing these statements, you know? After hearing what you said last night on the Flat Earth debate about the United States, huh? I don't think it'd turn out the way you think it would.
Stab them to death! I can't handle it anymore. This world can't be like this. It can't be like this. You can't allow it to be like this. You can't allow it. You have to stop it now! Fuck justice! Fuck the courts! They are the freaking pedophiles! They are them! Fuck the courts! Fuck the law! Kill the pedophiles! Kill them all! I can't do it! They must die!
Hey, hold on.
Focus on beautiful things,
Boys.
I'm not!
You believe in...
I will not focus on beautiful things! As long as this shit is out there! I will not dream!
I'm gonna go...
You know, some people feel bad for ARWIJN. I don't. I think he sits around over on Nathan Oakley's show and says things about testing the Coriolis effect in the United States. I think he says it because he's a weak little guy. I think he's a weak, lonely little guy, you know? I think he's never fired a gun. Just like he said. The United States is full of veterans like me that have. I mean, what's your point there, man? Like, testing the Coriolis in the United States. I wonder how you think it would go, right? Arwin. Wonder how you think it would go. Well, you know, you also think that the earth is flat, so we do know you're not that good with the way reality plays out. You know what I'm saying?
I'm gonna go now, man. You have a lot. Yeah, take care, bro. Take care.
About it and do something. About it and do something. Every time.
You want to know why? You want to know why you say things like that on the Flat Earth debate, Arwin? Because you're a little bitch. Just a little bitch. I'm out of here. Hit subscribe, hit like. www.paypal.me/UNIRock if you want to tip me. I'm heading to DLive and Periscope. If you don't like using DLive, we'll be live at Periscope. Hey, Arwin, from the United States of America, from an Iraq soldier of the United States of America. You talk a big game, buddy. Wait. I know. Hey, Arwin. You could beat me then, right? I'm one of those guys you don't like over here in the U.S. You can beat me then, right? So take my challenge. Tell me how the day-night cycle and the Terminator line of the Earth, where the sun and the moon would be and the Earth, and tell me how that would work on your flat Earth, and submit it in video form for us to respond to. Then you can prove if you are a tough guy. I'm waiting, Arwin. And until you do it, you're known as a flat churcher, you little bitch. I'll be back, guys. Peace. Shit, what did I do now? There we go. Sending the signal to dlive.tv/UNIRocktv and at UNIRocktv on Twitter or Periscope right now.